Lane oversees the repair of one of the Kreuz Bazaar's buildings. The old troll seems to be standing taller, barely needing the crutch. His face is as grim as always, but there's less weariness in his eyes than before. What's going on here? What's it look like we're doing? Baking a pie? The grizzled troll actually managed a short laugh before turning serious again. We're shoring up the fortifications, such as they are. Lots of damage during the attack, plus they exposed some holes in our defenses we really ought to plug up, just in case. We appreciate your help, Lesky. It's the least I can do. I wasn't much help during the attack. Truth be told, I owe my life to Samuel, his people, and to the Kreuz Bazaar. This is my way of saying thanks. Hey, good on you, Lane. You just holler if there's anything else I can help with. What's the mood around here? It varies from group to group, and person to person. Some of the younger ones who weren't injured in the attack, they want to rally and take the fight to whoever deserves it. Nobody deserves it, man. Nobody deserves it. The people who attacked us were just pawns. But there are plenty of others with the sense to wonder if the Kreuz Bazaar is a safe place to live anymore. I admit, I'd given that question some thought myself in recent days. You could make this place safe, Aleski. By building stronger walls, sure. Teaching people to be more vigilant, maybe. But I won't be a party to violence. And if that's what this place has become, well... If I'm here tomorrow, I'll keep doing what I can to help. And if I'm gone, well, you know why. There's violence everywhere, Lane. This is the Flux State. You were a soldier once, what's changed you? You mean, why'd I lose my taste for war besides losing both legs and a lung? Well, I'll tell you, if only so it might teach you something about this world we live in. If you know about the first Euro War, then you likely know how it ended, the night wraiths. I didn't just lose my legs in a bombing, I lost them in the bombing. Whoever was behind those bombers, they weren't aiming for us or the Russians, they were aiming to end the war. They bombed everybody on both sides. Huh. I was commanding from the field and my T-bird was caught up in the firestorm with all the rest. Not sure how I survived, when so many others died. But when they pulled me from the wreck, I was only half the man I used to be, in more ways than one. Spent months recovering, with nothing to do but think on the futility of it all. So many men had died under my command to hold that border, and for what? One day a man in a little room orders a handful of planes to deliver their payloads, and watches feeds of bombs dropping and numbers falling. It's surgical, sterile, cold. And all the wars ever achieve is to rob a child of a father or a mother, or parents of a son or daughter. That's why the Arctic fox died out there in the snow. Yeah, but it only takes one side to start a war, Alexei. I mean, even if you don't fight, someone's gonna fight you at some point. And either you fight back or you die, man. Alright, I'll leave you to your work. SDKC, you have to excuse me, I don't have much time. Several of my volunteers are still missing, and while their odds of survival are vanishingly low, I must assist in the search. At the very least, we can recover their bodies. How's Alexander doing? it hasn't changed. So there's no follow-up to Alexander at all. Even after the attack, like nothing happened. He didn't help in the attack. Nothing happened. Simi Kim seems as lost as ever, standing in the middle of the Kreuz Bazaar, observing all the activity around her. To her credit, she has not retreated into one of her sims today. So much is happening. There's a lot of work to be done. And everyone is helping, everyone is doing something. Do you want to help? I want to be strong. Strong people help, but I don't know what to do. I'm not good at anything. There are kids who need looking after. There are kids... She lost her child, right? I wonder if, Ezekiel... or what's his name? I wonder if he's the one who lost her child. And that's why he feels guilty about the state she's in. There are kids who need looking after. Kim glances across their way, where two of the Kreuz Bazaar's littlest ones peek out of an upper story window. Some of them lost their parents, I never knew mine. She looks up at you, with eyes too young for everything she's been through. Do you think they'll want to talk to me, the way Monica would? I think you know what they're going through. Just don't get them hooked on Sims. I think they could all use a big sister. I think I'd like that. I made mistakes, but I can help them not to make those mistakes. I always wanted to forget the past, bad memories, but maybe I can do something good with the bad. What about your Sims? But we don't have to ask that, right? This is not the best way to end this conversation. I mean, it's fine. They'll be waiting for me, I guess. They're not real, you know. I've noticed that Sims aren't real, Simmy. I'm not sure how I feel about them anymore. You need to decide if you're ready to live in the real world or not. Maybe you don't need them now. What do you think? You need to decide if you're ready to live in the real world or not. I mean, who's ever ready for this world? No one. No one's really ready for this world, to be honest. You just do it, man. You just have to. Maybe you don't need them now. What do you think? I don't know. I get anxious, and it's just so easy to go inside, but I don't want to anymore. That's what's different. I've got lots of my own to see too. That's it. I've got things of my own to do. What an awful way to end this conversation. I've got things of my own to see too. Goodbye. Goodbye, Simi. Alright, well, let's hope she, I'm sure she can help. She's stronger than she thinks. Alright, Lucky Strike has nothing. I don't know, maybe they ran out of time. You know, if, like a lot of games, as you get to the end of the game, things start to unravel because, like, the game developers had the deadline that they have to release the game on the deadline and then they run out of time. It feels a little like that with some of this dialogue. Some of this dialogue, like, it doesn't quite tie up cleanly. It's quite possible that they just like, oh my god, deadline, and everybody's crunching. Everybody's working too many hours, and then they just ship the game. It happens with a lot of games. Like, you get towards the end and things just start to unravel. Yeah, no, I don't need anything from him. Let me buy the gun. Right, I can't use the gun, but let me buy it anyway. What is it? Heckler and Koch. 227 Smart Link. Alright, I'm just gonna buy a gun that I can't use. Awesome. I'm a little surprised Algernon has nothing to say about this. This is the same conversation that we've had already. Question for you. Yeah, he has nothing to say. What do you know about AIs, Algernon? I guess Algernon... Algernon, he knows about magic. He doesn't really know about technology. Or maybe he does. Like, who knows what Algernon knows? I'm surprised that that guy's still alive. Alright. Do we have to debrief with the team? You enter the room to find your team preparing in relative silence. The expressions are grim. In the back of the room, an ominous presence hovers silently at chest height. Light glints off of the machine's pitted metal carapace. Iger sees the look on your face and the voice cuts through the quiet in the room. Apex is present to us, calls itself Panzer Drone, but that's about all I can get out of it. I don't like having that thing in here, boss. No, he's part of the team now. This is Apex's new body. It's here now, like it or not. She looks up and locks eyes with you. Without looking away, she addresses the rest of the team, but enough of that, we have business to discuss. If Apex did what it said it would, then the estate's automated defenses have already targeted Vauclair's security forces. They'll give us a serious tactical advantage. Attacking the holdfast should be doable now, still risky but doable. Blitz stops what he's doing and shakes his head. Yeah, we have an opening, sure, but to do what? I mean, with everything we just learned, what's our new plan? She shrugs. We enter the estate, locate Vauclair, and shut him down. Same plan, different target. I mean, that's the plan, but I don't think things are gonna go according to plan, Iger. It's possible that Apex fabricated that comm feed. Vauclair might still be innocent. Anything's possible. Glory. I doubt it. My gut tells me that what we saw was real, and second-guessing ourselves isn't going to get us anywhere. Glory pauses, considering, then nods. Fair point. Okay, so let's assume that Vauclair is the one who's behind all of this. What's he doing in that lab? How does the dragon tie into this? I mean, the whole thing was always about rescuing the old man from the Firewing. Is she still in the picture at all? Has she ever been? Maybe Vauclair really is trying to stop Firewing. Maybe he's got the Firewing's body in there, and he's been working to make sure that the spirit doesn't rejoin the body, right? After what Apex showed us, I don't even know what we're trying to stop anymore. All I see is a lot of dead bodies with no explanation why. It doesn't matter why Vauclair killed Monica and Paul and all of those other people in the Kreuz Bazaar. All that matters is that he did. I'm going to bury him for that. You're welcome to help. We'll see. I, for one, want answers. Amsel said that there was a lot of money flowing into the Harvard estate, and he found evidence that a bar weapon was being stockpiled there. Whatever Vauclair is doing, he had Apex kill his own brother to hide it. I intend to find out what that is. We'll get your answers, but Iger's right, we need to focus on stopping Vauclair. We don't even know what Vauclair is doing. Why do we stop him? I'm with Glory, I want answers, and we're gonna get them. Yeah, we don't even know what he's doing. Do we want to stop him? Maybe we don't want to stop him. There's a moment of silence as the group pauses to consider your words. Finally, Iger steps forward. Alright, fearless leader, you go looking for your answers. I won't get in your way. And when the time comes to put a bullet in Vauclair's brain, I'll be there to make it happen. If he really did kill Monica, Iger. Maybe he didn't kill Monica. That's why we need the answers first, right? First we figure out if he really did it. Then we can kill him, if he did it. This is your show, Chief. Whatever you choose to do, I'll come along for the ride. This is... It's not gonna be a fun ride, Blitz. We're gonna find out what's happening at that holdfast, and then we're gonna stop it. You lead, and I'll follow, boss. Iger glances at you and cocks her head. Looks like the team's good to go. What's our next move? Now that we've got the keys to the castle, I say we use them. We hit the estate, find Vauclair, and extract whatever information we can and improvise from there. We stop talking about this and go do it. We've hit the half a minute once before. We already know what we need to know to do it again. No, it's completely different this time. Yeah, no, this is what I think we're gonna do. Sounds straightforward enough. We're gonna improvise. I just said we're gonna improvise. It's not straightforward. Iger raises her hand. Word of caution, SCKC. Our objective may be simple, but taking the same approach that we took last time would be a mistake. Yeah, I know, because they already know that we did that last time. I'll defer to your judgment. What do you suggest? Yeah, no, this is obvious. Why do you need the... You don't need Iger. You don't need Iger to tell you that. You don't... Never use the same trick twice. Never tell the same joke twice. Right? Like, if you're predictable, you lose. If you're predictable, people can figure you out. I've been reviewing the intel that Alice sent us and comparing it to what I gathered on our original run. There has been a substantial increase in the number of heat signatures on the ground. That means new security troops, lots of them. Great. They know that we're coming. Well, yeah. She slings her rifle over her shoulder. That just means we'll be fighting in a target-rich environment. Dietrich cracks his knuckles, works for me. We want to get into the lab area as quickly as possible, so I suggest bypassing the main floor of the estate entirely. We can enter via the servants' entrance that you escaped through last time. Okay. Unfortunately, they've blocked off the route we used between the stables and the tree line. That means we're gonna have to fight our way there. Let's assume that we make it across the grounds alive. What about Vauclair? Once we're in, how do we find Vauclair? The lab that Vauclair was talking about wasn't on the ground floor, so it's either in the basement or a sub-level. We go down and we scour every level until we find it. That might take a while. That facility could be massive. There was clearly a lot more to it than we saw. We've got no way of knowing how far underground the complex extends. I'm sure there's a map somewhere. We can find a map. We go in prepared for an extended search then. Iga looks down, checking her gear. Ammo won't be a problem. Okay, people, it's go time. You got something to say, speak up now. If there's nothing to say, we'll do what we have to do. Okay, that's it. Finish gearing up and head to the tunnel at the back of the safe house. I'll meet you where we stashed the van. Let me just check how much, how many medkits I have. Do I want to buy more medkits? 1, 2, 3. How much money do I have? 3,000. Let me buy as many medkits as my money can afford. And just like fill my team's inventory with it, right? I might like sell whatever I don't need as well. I've got an extra pistol that I don't need. Medical supplies. So I don't use that. Unless I want to replace one of Glory's guns with that. Maybe I do. Premium medkit 300. They're not that expensive, huh? Trauma kit. I don't plan to use trauma kits. Because I'm just not gonna die, you know what I mean? Alright, maybe like a couple of these. Advanced medkit. Alright. That's more than I have enough inventory space for anyway. Probably take out the grenades. As our other weapons power up, the grenades aren't as useful anymore. I should drop the grenades and just put in more medkits. I've never used a single grenade in the entire game. I'm just carrying them for no reason. Alright, get rid of those. Two trauma kits? We don't plan to use 3 trauma kits, do we? Any last words? Nope. Nobody has anything to say. Dog? Pet the dog. Iga? Nothing to say. Blitz has nothing to say. Dietrich? No, Dietrich. Nothing to say. Does Apex have anything to say? Panzer drones. Panzer drone's single mechanical eye tracks your movement as you approach. The massive bulk of the thing lends it an uncanny air as it hovers effortlessly above the ground. Thing looks ancient. I'm guessing that it was under development back when the Apex lab got shut down in '36. After a brief pause, he rolls his eyes and turns away. Some reward. In terms of computing power, my PDA could probably run circles around this thing. Yeah, but this thing has a massive gun. Does your PDA have a massive gun? The shaman peers warily at the machine, his arms crossed over his chest. Old doesn't mean harmless, kid. When we are talking about tech, it might as well. I'm sure that Marliet has a whole warehouse full of drones that could outperform this thing. I don't think so. Mil-spec is mil-spec, and this thing was clearly designed for the battlefield. The enormous machine hovers impassively, its turbofan rotors keeping it silently aloft. Turbofan rotors are not silent. Turbofans are like the noisiest thing you can imagine. A small arsenal of heavy weaponry juts out from the seams of its armor plating. Whether we bring this thing along or not is up to you, SCKC, but I can see advantages either way, she shrugs. Whatever you decide, we'll go along with it. Alright, so I'm gonna save the game here. When we come back, it's gonna be the final mission. Alright. Saving. And I'll see you next time.